Hello Taurus, welcome to your 2019 yearly forecast with me, Anishka. We're going to go through some astrology, some tarot, as well as some numerology for this reading for you. Okay, so first of all, this year that we're getting into, 2019, is going to be a 3-number year in terms of numerology. And 3 is about creativity and self-expression. It's a fun number. It's about having a good time. It's about friendship. It's about joy. So this should be a time when we're all able to access that energy a lot more easily after having this crazy year of retrogrades in 2018. Which was actually an 11-year, a mass number year, which was part of the reason why it was so difficult for many, and also why we had those retrogrades, so that we were really mastering ourselves, so that we could then go forward into 2019 to create what it is that we want. So this is a time really to have a lot of courage to go after what it is that you want to create in your life and to bring that in. It's a time to be quite fearless, and it's a time for implementing ideas, whatever they may be, whether it's in terms of business or just the picture that you want for your life or romance. So this is that time now to really start to push forward. In the beginning of the year, for the first 2 months, we're going to have all the planets going direct, which means that projects that we start, things that we do, are able to flow along far more easily. When we have a lot of retrograde motion going on, it means that there tend to be a lot of false starts, there can be blockages, there can be things that need to be redone. But with this first 2 months, like I said, no planets being retrograde, we should be able to now breathe a sigh of relief and be able to move forward in a way that's constructive and feeling like we're less hampered down by things. Right, so let's get into what's going on with you personally, or a bit more personally. This is a general reading, okay, so for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising. So first of all, you've had Neptune in Pisces for a while now, right, in your 11th house, which is bringing that spirituality, that creativity, that sense of compassion to the groups that you belong to and the friendships you belong to. Maybe some of you are aligning yourselves with people in spiritual kind of communities or in creative kinds of ways. So the nice thing is, you know, the 11th house also rules your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. So you can be using your intuition at this point to help you find the best path to making your dreams come true. So this is a time when that kind of otherworldly, you know, other dimension and spiritual dimension comes into your groups, your associations, and your hopes, your dreams and wishes. So perhaps you're meeting people who are a lot more spiritual than you're used to, who are opening you up to new ways of seeing things. And part of this could also be to do with that Pluto and Saturn in your 9th house of expansion of the mind, broadening your horizons, travel and higher learning. Perhaps some of you have started to go onto a more spiritual or esoteric path, or even a higher level of learning. You're being asked to put a lot of work into areas to do with higher learning, travel, publishing, the way you view the world. You're being asked to open up in some ways in terms of the way you view the world. There's a transformation that's happened in this area of your life, and you're being asked to build a concrete view, in a sense, which is larger than perhaps you'd known before. Now that can be through further education, or that can just be through travel and just having your mind open to a certain extent. Not saying you're small-minded, Taurus, but we all have our worldview broken open, you know, from time to time. So there's this maturity and growth that's happening in this area for you, and you know, this is about putting the work in to make your life experience larger. Maybe you felt too confined in the past few years, and now you're saying, okay, you know what, I want more from life. I want my life to be bigger than it has been. Now this is going to be echoed by the fact that Uranus is going to come into your sign on March the 6th. So first let's talk about where Uranus has been. Uranus has been in your 12th house, okay? Uranus has been in Aries, and he retrograded into Aries for about 3-4 months, and this was clearing out the psychic debris. This meant that there was some unfinished business in terms of karma, things that you needed to let go of, self-defeating habits, hidden enemies, those kinds of things. There was some unfinished business here. There's some things that need to be let go of. And this is what Uranus has been helping you do in this area of your life. Now then, as we go into March, Uranus will move into your sign, and this is where that desire for freedom gets echoed because Uranus is very much independent, goes its own way. Uranus is about freedom, innovation, change, sudden change, and also sudden awakening. So this is going to see over the course of the next 7 years really expressing a new sense of self, or perhaps even seeing the world in a very different way. Suddenly things that worked for you for a long time will stop working for you, and you'll just drop them at the drop of a hat. People might be a little bit put on edge by you because of the sudden changes you may make. At first it may seem a little bit like you're not quite sure what's going on with yourself, but what Uranus is trying to do is it's trying to speed up your growth, okay? It's saying, Uranus doesn't like to hold on to anything that is not going to help it progress. So it's saying, you know, what is it about me, about the way I view myself, or the way I view life, or the way I come across to others that isn't helping my progression, you know, on my path. So Uranus will ask you to take a look at that and to drop it and let it go. Don't be surprised. Sorry. Don't be surprised if sudden opportunities come to you, sudden things fall away. This is the planet of the unexpected, okay? But you may find sudden opportunities coming along that really are quite amazing and very different, and may take you down a very different path. So this is echoing that Pluto and Saturn in the ninth, which is asking you to transform your worldview, to grow and mature in terms of how you understand the wider world. And that can be, like I said, through many ways: travel, learning, publishing, moving, who knows, foreign investments, foreign people coming into your life, different cultures and experiences of them. So that's really interesting. The other thing that of course has happened recently is Jupiter moved into his home sign of Sagittarius. So for you, this is in your 8th house, which rules intimacy. It rules shared resources. It rules esoteric subjects, so astrology, tarot, anything esoteric, anything that digs beneath, so depth psychology, taboo things like taxes and sex and kinks and fetishes, all of those kinds of things is what it rules. So Jupiter is expanding this area of your life. So Jupiter is saying basically, you know, you're going to be looking at experiencing more intimacy, more growth in these areas. So this could see your investments with someone, shared resources with someone actually growing. Could see you working very hard with somebody to build wealth, okay, in a partnership of some sort. It now could be romantic, but it could also be business. For some of you, this is going to see your intimate life really expanding. Maybe you'll start to explore your relationship, not just on an intimate level emotionally, but sexually. Maybe you're going to start to be a bit more explorative. Some of you are going to want to go into more esoteric subjects, start to delve deep into psychology. Now, if you're thinking you need any type of counseling, this could be a really good time where you gain a lot of benefits and insight through getting real kind of depth, deep counseling. So whether that's past life regression or something like that, this could be a time when you really grow from it. So Jupiter's there working for you, you know, and there's a sense of your worldview opening up. There's a sense of your spirituality opening up through contacts with friends and also through intimacy as well, okay? And it may well be that you get gifts or inheritances during this time, and an expansion of your psychic awareness as well. One thing I wanted to mention as well is, you know, Pluto and Saturn in that 9th house of yours in Capricorn is great because basically any points or angles or planets that you have in Taurus, he's going to trine, or they are going to trine, because Capricorn trines you. So this is giving you positive energy and stable, grounded energy, which I think you, Taurus, are going to like. And of course, when we get to 2020, Jupiter moves up into the 9th house, joins Pluto and Saturn as they become conjunct, and it's going to be a powerful time for you in terms of adventure, growth, higher learning, expansion, foreign travel, and like I said, broadening of the worldview. Right, so now we're going to move on to the eclipses. I'm going to draw a tarot card for each eclipse, and we're going to go into the numerology for each eclipse as well whilst I explain it. Now the eclipses are running along the Cancer and Capricorn nodal path this year. So for you, this is about your ninth house. Sorry, this is about your your ninth house, as well as your third house. So this is about the world at large and also your local community. You see how I was saying you're expanding your worldview? Sorry. You're working to expand your life and make it broader in some ways and expand your horizons. So this is about balancing. Sorry, gosh. That worldview and going out into the world whilst also being aware of what your responsibilities are or what they aren't in terms of your local community and things like that. Right, so January the 6th, we have a solar eclipse at 15 degrees of Capricorn in your ninth house. Now, this is a new moon. So this is new opportunity when it comes to publishing, travel, higher education. And at 15 degrees, the numerology is 6. And 6 is about healing and harmony. So this is nice. You know, 6 is a nice balanced number. So maybe you're looking to bring higher education into your life in order to balance out. Maybe you need more knowledge on the job. Maybe you think you need more knowledge on the job. You know, so this can see you going into things like that. This is a good time to be, if you're wanting to write a book or publish anything, this is a good time to get a project like that started. Let's pull a card, right. Okay, so we have the High Priestess. There we go. So this says to me, use your intuition, okay? Follow your instincts and use your intuition. You are becoming, I think you're becoming, you're going to see, yeah, you're becoming more, for those of you who aren't or weren't already, you're becoming more psychic, you're becoming more spiritually aware, especially with that Jupiter moving into Sagittarius. So I'm getting a sense that you use your intuition. Don't be afraid to follow your hunches, and even if something doesn't seem quite like it's logical, if you're being drawn towards a certain path of growth and expansion, especially if it relates to travel or learning or publishing or, you know, higher education or even spirituality or philosophy, don't be afraid to explore that and see where that might take you, okay? Then on January the 21st, we have a total lunar eclipse, and this is a super moon. So this is going to be a doozy, okay? We're going to feel this one. And this is a full moon, so full moons are about culminations and endings. And for you, this is in Leo, right? So this is finishing up the Leo Aquarius for the Leo Aquarius eclipses that we were experiencing last year. So in Leo, this is your fourth house, so this is about home. So something coming to an end, something culminating as it comes to home. So maybe there was something negative going on for a while. Maybe there was something that needs to be let go of. Maybe you needed to move. Maybe your housemate was annoying you. Maybe you were having trouble with the home where you were living, you know, leaks and things like that. This is a culmination, but this is 0. So it's a total reset. It's at 0 degrees, so this is total reset. So this, I see some of you totally changing where you move. I see some of you really moving abroad or moving just somewhere very different, especially with that ninth house emphasis. So this can see some of you starting anew, finishing something up, saying, I no longer want to live in this situation. This can also be on an emotional level as well, okay? So because the fourth house relates to family and our most intimate kind of life. So this could be the closing of something to do with a family situation, an ending of some sort, right? Whether it's the ending of arguments and bickering and making peace, whether it's the ending of something else, but this is to do with a culmination. And at 0 degrees, it puts you on this reset path. So there's a sense of a new chapter starting with this particular super full moon, okay? So you could be feeling emotional closure as a result of it. So this could be a really interesting one for you. And let's pull a card. Okay, Knight of Wands. So this says to me that, and I like this as well because the wands are fire energy, and Leo, where this eclipse is happening, is a fire sign. So this says to me that this full moon eclipse is going to give you the opportunity to move forward very quickly with something that you're passionate about, something you've been desiring for a long time, something you've been wanting to create for a long time, whether that is a more stable home environment, whether that is a larger home, whether that is to move. You know, this is very much about movement and expansion and change. So this is saying to me that there's something you've desired which as a result will come in, but it could be that at first the ending seems somewhat jarring. You know, at first, sometimes endings we don't really want to have to face them. We find it hard to let go of things. But I like the fact that it says to me that your movement is going to be very quick and rapid forward, and it's going to be in a way that you will, I think, be quite satisfied with. And it speaks to me of success. Okay, right. Then on the July the 2nd, we have a solar eclipse at 10 degrees of Cancer. Okay, this is in your 3rd house of community, communication, writing, learning again, you know, teaching, short distance travel, your local community. So this can bring, with that 10, which is a number 1, this can bring, it depends how you use, because some people take 10s as 10s in numerology. I usually reduce them to a 1. So for me, a 1 is the beginning of something. So maybe what happened on January 21st, now you're really getting traction going, okay, with that 1 energy, starting something within the local community. Maybe you'll meet your, what's the words? Collaborating with somebody local, you know, or in some local kind of project. This can also mean that opportunities come just by being out and about in your day-to-day life. So what you want to make sure that you're out and around, okay, during this this solar eclipse on July the 2nd. This is a great time to set new intentions as well as it relates to business and communications and writing and even creativity and learning, okay? This also rules siblings as well, so this could see a fresh start with one of your siblings. And the energy we've got for this, okay. Ooh. Where's that going? There we go. Jeez. Okay, so the energy we've got is the 10 of Wands, so more wand energy, which is interesting because it's at 10 degrees Cancer, right? So this is 10s are culminations, okay? They are the closing of a door before we move on to the next chapter. But what I like about the 10 of Wands is that these 10 of Wands, to me anyway, signify the wisdom, the learning, the growth that you've had. So you're taking your experiences of the past and you're moving forward with something new as it relates to 3rd house matters, communication, business, short distance travel, siblings, your local community. So you're moving forward with something new and opportunities that may well take advantage of the experience that you already have. These 10 ones, right, which represent the experience you already have. Opportunities like that may come along where someone might recognize your skills, your talents, your abilities and say, hey, I want to work with you. Or here's an idea. What do you think for you to get started on? So once again is that passionate fire energy of creation and movement, right? Brilliant. Then on July the 16th, we have a partial lunar eclipse, and this is at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So that's another 6. So this is about harmony, healing, home, love, nurturing, compassion. Okay. So for you, it's in that 9th house. And this could see you needing, because it's a partial eclipse, you know, we could be needing to adjust something. There may be something that needs to be adjusted as it relates to the plans that you had at the beginning of the year. And that's fine. We all need to tweak our plans as we move along throughout time, don't we? You can't always, you know, life does what it does and you have to be able to move with it as well as holding your vision. So there's something here that may need to be slightly adjusted in terms of your long-term plans, your big arranged plans, in order to bring more harmony, okay? The Chariot. So the Chariot card is actually ruled by Cancer, which is one of the signs which we're having the eclipses in, right, this year. So this is forward movement. You're getting a lot of action and movement in your reading, Taurus. I think some of you are really going to be, 2019, I really feel is going to see a lot of you really, really moving forward business-wise, I feel like, and just in terms of life in general. But with speed, but also with accuracy is what I see, okay? So this is forward movement, an adjustment that needs to be made in order for you to move forward powerfully. But this is also, once again, trusting your intuition, okay? So trusting the emotions, trusting the gut, and going with that, knowing that you're making the right decisions. I think you're building, it seems to me that Taurus, you're building something that... I feel like you're building something that's going to perhaps turn out to move faster than you originally anticipated. It's like perhaps you have an idea, a business idea, and you think it's a good idea, and then you get out there into the world and suddenly you realize it's a great idea and people can't get enough of it, and it's almost like it pulls you along. That's what I'm getting. It's kind of the energy that I'm getting with you, Taurus. Okay, and so the final eclipse I want to talk about is on December the 26th. And guess who came up? You did. King of Pentacles. Lovely. So December the 26th, we have a solar eclipse at 4 degrees of Capricorn, right? In that ninth house again of expansion, travel, higher learning, philosophy, broadening my worldview. And this I really like. This is probably my favorite eclipse of the year. It's at 4 degrees, and 4 is about stability, security. It's about building and structure. You, Taurus, you know about structure. You know about building and taking those steps to reach your goals day by day by day. This is about grounded growth, okay? And with the King of Pentacles showing up, this is you. So I feel like, Taurus, by the end of the year, you're going to be saying, I've done really well. I have made the moves I needed to make for myself, my family, my loved ones, those that I care about. Now, I'm sitting in my wealth. I'm sitting in my security. I'm sitting in my stability. And I've provided for those that I love as well as myself. And I feel like I really see some of you getting into some interesting business ventures, and some of you just finding yourselves in situations that bring opportunities that you weren't expecting, that could bring an opportunity for wealth, but not just wealth, but also a real change for those of you who felt stuck, a change of scene, literally, in terms of where you live, a real just shift in your life, okay? But I'm seeing you finish 2019 on a really positive note, feeling like you made your money, feeling satisfied, and there you are, Taurus. And look, there's the bull. This is you, Taurus. So well done, fantastic. I love this reading for you. So finally, I'm just going to pull one of my Colette Baron Reid cards, the Enchanted Map they're called, and they're really, really beautiful. So let's see what we've got for Taurus for 2019. One final note. Word of advice, right. Stormfields. See that? Now, there may be some storms along the way, Taurus, but you know, what is life without a few storms? Okay. Right, now this to me speaks of Uranus in your 12th house, and I think this is what you're clearing up at the moment. And I think once we clear this energy, I think this is where you're going to start seeing rapid forward movement. An uncomfortable chaos has surrounded you. Things that you've left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break, for these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you, or between you and another, will benefit you later. The sun will shine again, and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. Very much speaks of Uranus in that 12th house. Perhaps you've been having some internal sense of storms. The storm, internal sense of unease. He's going to move into your first house, and things are really going to be shaken up. And when I think Uranus, I think thunderbolts and lightning. I really do. Okay, so it's that electric energy. Your life is about to take a turn. In some very unexpected ways, but I think it's going to be for the best. I really do. Well, it always is, no matter what happens in our lives, as hard as it can be to understand at the time, you know, there is always some good that we can find. Right, okay, and one last one from my Earth Warriors Oracle cards. I love these. Goddess, I can't pronounce that very well, of Teotihuacan. She guards the waters of life. Don't know if you can see that. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to read this one to you now, because I don't know all of these meanings off by heart, I'm afraid. Right. Okay. The ancient guardian mother protects the waters of life and offers her protection and blessings. Her appearance augurs a time of purification and cleansing, leading to enhanced fertility. Fertility again. You are a creator of new consciousness, a generator of positive energy as fuel for constructive outcomes. We need your vitalized being to keep nourishing the human collective with helpful alternatives to mainstream consciousness. You will be protected and supported at the deep level of soul in order to become the creator and custodian of a clean reservoir of consciousness from which souls thirsty for purity, relief, and love can drink. The ancient mother will help you to help her and the many creatures within her care. She will help you to be fearlessly inventive with your loving creations of healing consciousness. Consider very seriously the need to cut cords to negative or unhelpful influences in your life, whether they be habits, people, or forms of entertainment and media that threaten to distort the pure and wise use of your wild spirit and ignited mind. Whilst it is important that you engage with others, the sacred creator within you requires time and space and solitude to process, reflect, contemplate, and create. Now this I love. Right, so this really, like I said, I think this is very much Uranus moving from your 12th house to your first house. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, asking you to let go of what's not working. Let go of people who are holding you down, things that are holding you down. And Uranus coming to your sign will make it very clear what needs to stay and what needs to go. I love it. So once again, it's that storm, isn't it? And that's that letting go. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And I will hope you have a wonderful and blessed 2019, Taurus. Much love to you all. Bye.